This is especially a good question given the letter that 28 Democrats still in the Senate signed on April 7th, 2017, to the leadership around here, urging them to oppose any effort to stop the Senate's tradition and custom of extended debate. Some of those senators are on the floor with us at this moment. I see the junior senator from Illinois, and the junior senator from Hawaii, and the junior senator from Maine, the presiding officer, for that matter. Many more were down here earlier. And Mr. President, I would invite through the chair any of those senators, if they would like to engage in a colloquy, to explain why they have changed their position since they signed that letter on April 7th, 2017. I guess I don't have any takers. I will point out that of the 28 Democrats who signed that letter,
will the senator yield?
I will certainly yield.
Thank you. Excuse me.
Senator from Maine.
I'm one that signed that letter. First, let's talk about the letter itself. What it says is, we're united in our determination to preserve the ability of members to engage in extended debate when bills are on the Senate floor. I agree with that. The proposal that's going to be put on the floor today is one that will allow extended debate. There are 2 points that have caused me to modify the position that I took on this letter. One is the nature of the issue that's before the body. If we were here talking about immigration or gun control or any of the other many issues that we consider, I wouldn't be taking the position that I am. I believe that the rules of the Senate are important and that extended debate is an important part of the Senate process. However, we're talking about fundamental structural changes, not policy changes, but structural changes that I believe, in spite of your comments, that in many states across the country are compromising the ability of our people to express themselves in our democracy. I consider that qualitatively different than a policy difference. And that's why I am here today to talk about revising the rules, not blowing up the filibuster, but to get back to what the filibuster actually means. And that is extended debate. I'm all for extended debate until we're exhausted, until we've made a deal, until we've come to a compromise. But the problem is the filibuster as we define it today is a distant cousin of the real filibuster. The radical change in the filibuster isn't what's being discussed today. It was made in 1975 almost by accident. In 1975, they were debating whether it should be 2/3 of senators present and voting or a lower number, and they compromised on 60 senators of sworn members. That was the focus of that discussion, and I've talked to parliamentarians who were involved in that discussion. I asked the specific question, did they really realize what they were doing by creating the mail-in, dial-in, no-effort filibuster? And the answer was no. They didn't discuss it, they didn't think of it. So what I'm talking about here today and what the proposal that will be on the floor later is to do exactly what this letter says, extended debate. Extended debate. And that's why I believe that what we're proposing today is in the deepest tradition of the United States Senate. What we are trying to scale back is the cheap, easy, dial in from your office, 60 votes, de facto supermajority requirement, which is not in the Constitution, which the framers expressly did not agree to. They put in a lot of checks and balances. 2 houses of Congress, 2/3 voting on treaties, 2/3 voting on an amendment, confirmation of the President, the Congress, the independence of the courts. All those were checks and balances. One of them was not a supermajority requirement in the United States Senate. Hamilton and Madison expressly said that that would turn democracy on its head. Democracy ultimately is about majority rule. And there should be minority rights. The minority should have every opportunity to speak, to offer amendments, to discuss, to offer germane amendments, I might add, and discuss and debate, but ultimately not have a veto. That's really what it comes down to here. Do you have a rule that says that the minority actually is in control of the legislative process? That's not what the framers intended. It's antithetical to what the framers intended. In fact, one of the reasons for the Constitutional Convention was the dysfunction of the Articles of Confederation, and one of the reasons cited for that dysfunction was a supermajority requirement. So, yes, I voted, what I supported 3 years ago, I still support. The language is full, robust, and extended debate. And that's what's going to be proposed later on. And if you guys will vote for it, this debate can go on as it should for weeks and perhaps months, because it's that important. But I don't have any apologies to make if I have to choose between a Senate rule as it works now, which, as I say, is a distant cousin of the real filibuster, and democracy itself. I'm going to take democracy every single time.